My name is Rose Wong. My company is Kolohe Jewelry, and I am the CEO and founder of Kolohe. I was at Scheidler, the School of Business, and I got my degree in marketing. So Kolohe is Hawaii's original custom jewelry bar where customers can come and design a unique piece of jewelry on the spot by choosing their chain, charm, and style. Our mission statement is to create inspiring stories. So whether that's through my story of how I started the business, being a young local entrepreneur here in Hawaii, or whether it's a unique story of us customizing a special piece for a customer based on their unique story. So we really love to create inspiring stories in whatever ways we can. So this is our custom jewelry bar. First, it starts with our necklace bar. So you can choose your chain, your charm, and then your style, and you can get a really special piece made on the spot. So we have anything from gold fill, sterling silver, solid 14 karat. We've got different semi-precious stones, different types of pearls. You can really make anything as intricate as using a lot of the different semi-precious stones, or you can make something as simple as just choosing one of these little charms and putting it on your desired chain. So it's a lot of fun. I like to tell people it's kind of like Build-A-Bear, but for jewelry. So you can come in and really pick what you want and make a unique piece on the spot. We have our earring bar. So what's really cool about this side is you can choose, again, your different stones, and I like to call these over here kind of the naked options. So these are the different options of earrings that you can choose with your stone. And so it's a lot of fun that you get to design your own piece on the spot. And then we have our bracelet bar over here, and same concept. And then right over here is some of our fine jewelry pieces that we carry in solid 14 karat. We're really excited for our bridal collection to come out soon. We've been doing a lot more fine jewelry, hand fabricated pieces. And so this is our custom jewelry bar. So if you guys would like to come in, we do have 2 locations. We have one at the Alohi Resort, and then we have one at the Waikiki Beach Walk area. So it's a lot of fun. Come in, make your jewelry piece. We also do jewelry design parties. We do jewelry classes at our Alohi location, and it's great for the holidays or for a treat for yourself. Long story short, so I started it when I was in high school, 16 years old. The reason why I wanted to start it is because I had to face a lot of trials and tribulations when I was growing up. There's a lot of challenges, and I really started it because I wanted to show my younger siblings that, you know, despite what we were going through or despite the path that we were set out to, there had to have been something different for us. And so from the ages of 14 and 16, I got my first job when I was 15 years old. Between those ages, I had about 8 different jobs because I was trying to figure out what I liked to do. What I found was working minimum wage, working on someone else's clock, going home smelling like food wasn't working. So while I was at Magnolia Kahala working as a sales associate, I always loved selling the jewelry there. I was really good at it, and I loved the story that it told. I loved that a grandpa could come in and buy something. I loved that a woman could come and buy something for herself. A guy could come in, a girl could come in, all different ages and demographics could come in. So I fell in love with the storytelling of jewelry and the opportunity in it. And so it really started because I wanted to prove to myself and to my younger siblings that, hey, we can open up our own doors despite our challenges. And I'm really happy to say that my sisters now have a business of their own. They have a really beautiful business. And then what happened was throughout college, I was president of the Entrepreneurs Club. I got really involved with PACE, and that's really where it started to thrive. And I started to recognize the opportunity as a business, not just kind of as a side hobby now. And so I immediately did a lot of the programs at PACE and UHMNO. I entered all the business pitch competitions. I got sent to Vegas. I got sent to Baltimore to do different trade shows and business pitch programs. And so I got really involved at a young age, and I think that exposure really helped set our branding. So the way we opened our first store at the Alohi is they actually reached out to us because of our branding in the community, because I was president of the Entrepreneurs Club. They reached out to us, asked us, hey, we just did a big renovation on the Alohi Resort. Would you like to do a 2-month summer pop-up? And so we opened our first store there, and that was when I was a senior in college. And then we opened our second store in the middle of COVID. And then we opened our showroom and our office space the year after that. And then now we're renovating our stores. We've got an amazing team, and that's kind of where we are now. So it's very exciting. PACE was an amazing, amazing program for me. And I think it really showed my true value of what the business could become. If it hadn't been for PACE and Hawaii Student Entrepreneurs, I don't know if the business would be where it is today. So PACE gave me a lot of exposure at a young age to these different pitch programs, gave me exposure to a lot of different local entrepreneurs in the community. So I got to be involved. I got to hear how these entrepreneurs were talking. I got to see their different ideas and pick up on a lot of the practices and values. And so I think just the exposure, and what I really love about PACE is that it wasn't biased on anything. You know, I didn't come from a family with a lot of money at all. I was paying my own way through college. So I love that PACE gave opportunities to a person like me that I probably otherwise wouldn't have gotten. So I think just the overall experience and the exposure, the branding that it allowed me to do, and you guys just put so much work into the students, and I think that's a huge, huge part of the local community. So I think, yeah, you guys have done a lot, and we're all very grateful. We opened the second flagship location right in the middle of COVID, so that was a big feat for us because that was kind of my way of proving to myself. The reason why I did it was I wanted to show myself, okay, Rio, should I continue to be kind of risky and do this gut feeling thing that I have, or should I step it back a little bit more? And at the time, there was so much negative news going on, so I really just wanted something fun to work on for the community, and that's why we opened the Beach Walk flagship store. We had a rough few months, but then it ended up just skyrocketing, doing really well for us. And then that allowed us to open up our showroom downtown, which is where we manufacture all of our pieces. Recently, within the last year, coming kind of out of COVID, we were invited by the Four Seasons Boutique to do trunk shows over there. So we started getting invited pretty much every other month because they loved our jewelry bar offering that we would bring. They loved our customer service, the team, the energy that we would bring, and so they kept inviting us back. And then now we're actually very excited that they're going to be carrying our pieces in the boutique. So that's been a really big accomplishment for us. And then aside from that, we also started doing wedding rings. So we started getting into bridal, fine luxury jewelry. We have a GIA certified jeweler who does all of our diamond settings, our hand fabricating pieces. And right now we're kind of in the stage of formulating our team, finalizing our team. We have a really strong leadership team, amazing group of ladies and one guy. And so it's been really amazing to see everything come together because we stuck through the challenges of COVID and came out stronger, and we were able to really thrive from it. I always think about how did it get to this point? What are we even doing? Because it just seems like we're running around, we're having fun together, we're testing different things. And it just came out to be this beautiful business. And actually now I think this is the big point of our business, the big turning point. It wasn't before, it was everything that we set up. And I think the next year is going to be really, really huge for us because of everything that we set up. So I had no idea when we first started the business that it would turn out to this at all. I didn't start taking it seriously until around college time, doing all of those pitch programs and noticing that, hey, this is a viable business and I can really run the organization. And that's actually one of my specialties. I love the business building side of it. It started because of a passion for the jewelry and creating the piece, but now we've got a team to kind of do all of that. And so my job as the growing CEO is to now continue to drive the business forward. And I think when I was first starting out, I really wanted to just do something to prove to myself and my sisters that we could go on a path that was different. I saw a lot of my family members homeless. My older brothers weren't able to go to college. They had to drop out of high school. I was living with another family when I was in the 8th grade. So really that was my only intention when I was first starting it. I wanted to do something for myself and show my siblings that, hey, we're gonna go to college, we're gonna do something, despite this path. And that was honestly one of my biggest intents. And so I think, yeah, it's just crazy to see how everything came to be because I was driven by that purpose. And I think that just really goes to show what someone can do if they put their mind to it. That's kind of what I like to tell to people, believe in yourself and stand true for what you want to push forward for yourself and for your family and the community. And so that was the only purpose of it. And now the business is here to provide for our team, for our community. We do a lot of different initiatives. We oftentimes do causes that will donate proceeds to things like IHS that are important in the community. And so the purpose of the business now is to be there for the team and the community. What's really interesting about us is we tend to take anything that is purposeful and passionate to our team. So if someone says, hey Rose, like we are passionate about this community initiative, maybe we can do something to raise money for that. So one great example is we just had an event in store that actually raised funds for kids in the Philippines, because that's where Megan, my business partner, that's where her and her family are from. And so it really kind of just goes to, we really keep our eyes open for any ways that we can do our small part through jewelry. And that way it's more special. You know, you're buying a jewelry piece, but you're also contributing to something. And that's really that's a core value of the business, that we're giving back to the community that gave so much to us when we first started. It's how my story started. And so I guess to answer your question in terms of what sites do we really have our eyes on, what we're looking forward to for the years to come is I would really love to play a part in one, contributing to different initiatives like IHS. That's one very close to my heart because I've seen family members homeless. And then two, I would love to contribute more to the young entrepreneur creative space and give more to what gave so much to me and help that to flourish, because I've seen what it can do firsthand. I think the first piece of advice, I can think of four. I think the first piece of advice is I would say believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will. And especially as an entrepreneur, it's really important that you believe in yourself so much that you can get the people around you to believe in you too. You can get your team on track. You can get your friends and family on track, because it's a very big thing that you're about to embark on. And then I think two is start early and fail forward. So because of all of the lessons that we learned when I was a young age, it helped us propel our business. Because I started early in college, that really set the foundation for my name in the community before I was graduated. So start early and fail forward. And then I think the third thing is develop a mental toolbox to help you through the challenges, because if there's one thing that's definitely for sure about entrepreneurship is you're going to face a lot of challenges, right? That's with anything in life. And so I think doing those practices and things that will help you develop that mental toolbox to navigate through the ups and downs of life is really going to help you be a strong entrepreneur. And then I would add the last one is to nourish your soul and your happiness, because at the end of the day, you know, success, money doesn't mean anything without happiness. And you see a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays and things on social media saying that it's all about the money or the lifestyle or whatnot. And what I learned, instead of being so fixated on the end goal, it's really learning to enjoy the process and enjoy going through that journey. So that way, when you're at the end goal, it's not just like, okay, what's next? I feel, you know, what am I going to do next? And yeah, you're just more full of gratitude. And naturally, when you appoint it that way and you go about things that way, then the end goal becomes better anyway, but you just get there with a much better mindset. So that's a tough thing I had to learn as a young entrepreneur. So those are the four things that I would tell young entrepreneurs. Believe in yourself, start early and fail forward, develop a mental toolbox, and the last one was nourish your soul and your happiness. Oh my gosh, there are so many challenges, they never stop. I mean, a big challenge, let's see, was opening the store. So a big challenge could be anything from financial challenges and me not being equipped, because after I graduated college, I went straight into the business. I didn't go and I didn't get a corporate job, I didn't get an internship. So a lot of these things I was learning by doing. So that in itself was a challenge. I think another challenge was hiring people and building the right team. At the start of COVID, I wanted to hire everyone. I was like, everyone needs a job, let's do it. But that wasn't the best decision for the business. So I had to navigate through hiring, and now we have an amazing team. We've gone through the learning lessons of hiring. Challenges, I think every small business faces this because you go through the phases of being a small business. And one challenge particularly for me was when I started the business, I was doing everything. I was wearing all of the hats, but now as the business is growing, that's actually a bad habit for me, where I've got to learn to delegate and elevate my team, let them handle it so I can focus on the bigger things so that the business will grow. So there's a lot of internal challenges. And then I think another hard part is all of the personal challenges that you have to deal with while still being a leader in the community and leading your team, and you have to make sure that you're a strong suit for it, because there's so many things in life that are just going to continue to try to bring you down, and you've got to find your ways to stay strong for yourself, for your team, for your family. And so I think those are some examples of challenges that I can think of right now, but we continue to get through them together. We have an amazing team that I can fall back on. I have a really great support system in the community, lots of mentors and advisors I met through PACE that still help me today. So I think as long as you have a great support system, and a good mental toolbox, you can get through anything. You realize my worth, I guess you could say, because when I was growing up, I grew up without a mom, I was living with another family. So when I was young, I didn't really have anyone to push me in the right direction. And so I think because of everything that I built, I still have a hard time with this. Because of everything that we've built, sometimes I have to stop and say, like, Rose, you are this person, you do this and you can do this. So I think, that's a really interesting question. And to kind of summarize it, I think it definitely helped me realize my place in the community, what I can do to help the community and my team, the people around me. And so, luckily I've had great mentors, and I could have gone this way with certain situations, but luckily the mentors, helped trail me forward. And I think we do need people to be good influences, and I hope that I can be one of those people for the young generation to come. Do I wish I had done anything differently? No, because I think this goes back to my advice to fail forward. I think a lot of my failures and lessons have strengthened me as an entrepreneur and as a leader and as a person. So I learned from those, as long as you learn from them. So I wouldn't have done anything differently at all. I wish I had known there were a healthier way to do business than when I first started. What I mean by that is, when you're a young entrepreneur, you have this idea like, okay, you're gonna hustle, you're gonna go, and all these things. And yes, that is true. But I quickly learned young in my career that there are a lot of things that are more important than money and always chasing the business things. Your family, your partner, and working on yourself. So I think I wish I knew how to do business in a healthier way, but luckily I learned that lesson really fast, and now I am doing business in a healthier way, and it's been amazing. It's had amazing results by just making that small tweak. So I think, that would be my answer. I wish I knew how to do business in a healthier way at an earlier age, but it's okay because we went through it and it's good now. That I am very much a product of my community and environment. So, it means so much to a young entrepreneur when a more seasoned, well-established entrepreneur reaches out. And that's why I'm so passionate about doing these things and spreading the story and helping as much as I can, because I know how much that can do for someone. So I'm here because of all of the things that have happened at PACE, UH Manoa, Hawaii Student Entrepreneurs, all of the mentors and advisors in the community, all of the amazing business people that have given me their time, the team that has believed in me, and my business partners. We wouldn't be here without the community. So I think it's just a good reminder to keep lending a hand when you can, keep believing in people when you can. And I think that'll help to create a better Hawaii, a good local ecosystem, and help more to contribute to the solutions that we can bring.